This is a superhero. Works your glutes and back. Extend your arms, extend your legs. Lift up your hands and shoulders and chest off the mat. You can keep your head kind of neutral. Lift up your feet and knees. The target is your lower back especially and your glutes. Should feel like you're trying to bend yourself or fold yourself in half and you're holding it. Some options are to come up, hold for a few, and come down. Or you can simply come up as high as you can with both feet and hands. And we get a visit from my little dog who wants to see what I'm doing. Hi, little dog, Joy. Another option is to bring your hands up, bring your arms back, and keep extending hands and arms. YTW for shoulder activation. We're going to start without weights. Extend yourself in a Y with your thumbs up, then a T with your thumbs forward, and then with your thumbs coming towards your ears, your elbows down and back, so you're trying to lift your elbows as high as they can. And extend, extend, extend. You can do these with weights. Start very light, like this is way too heavy. You can also do these on a ball or a Bosu if you have access to it. Do a glute bridge, and we'll give you several options for this. Bring your heels as close into your butt as you can. Lift up your hips as high as you can. Squeeze your glutes like you have gas in church. My little dog is about to come see what I'm doing. This is Joy. Say hello to everybody, Joy. I know. How you doing? Okay. Go find a bone. All right, we're doing this. You can do pulses by inhaling and then exhaling and bringing your hips up. Inhaling and exhaling as high as you can. You can also bring your knees wide so that you're starting, and then bring them wide when you come up so you're starting to get the sides of your glutes. If you have a band, which I would highly recommend getting a little mini band, you can wrap those around your knee. My awkwardness is coming out. And doing the same thing. Now my knees are having to work outside, and doing this becomes a whole lot more about my gluteus medius and minimus and the side butt, which is really what we're trying to get at. Clam shells in a variety of different ways. The most basic, elbow underneath your shoulder, knees together, simply lift your knee up. The goal is to target your gluteus medius and minimus and your side butt and your outside muscles. You can do it this way. You can leave your bottom knee on the ground and lift your hip up, and now do these. So now you're getting both side butts. To make it really spicy and have some fun, put the band around your knees, and then you can stay down. And again, you've got to lift it up so it's a lot harder on the outside of your hip, or do the hip lifts from here. This makes it the spiciest and the most effective for developing side butt strength. So just inhale and exhale and just push this apart as hard as you can, and you will toast those muscles quickly. It's a plank rotation, and with an optional push-up. Typically, we'll start in an elbow plank. Come into an elbow plank, inhale and exhale and rotate into a side plank. And then inhale, come back, exhale, rotate into a side plank. You can also do these in a high plank. Inhale and exhale. Try to look up at your hands when you're rotating. You can also add a push-up to the end of this. So you can rotate, come down, rotate, come down into a push-up and rotate. Side planks, very simple exercise. Elbow underneath your shoulder, stack your feet, and I'll show you some alternatives. So knees are on top, lift your hips up. The goal is to keep your top hip on top of your left, so that's a straight line. Okay, if this is too hard, you can bring your right foot, your top foot forward and hold it. You can also bring your bottom knee and put it on the floor. My hips are still stacked, my knees are still over each other. So this is another way of doing a side plank. Just to also make life interesting, to come up in a side plank and then bring your hips down and do a hip lift. It makes side planks so much more fun. Doing push-ups, there are a million different people who will tell you there's one right way to do a push-up. There's not. It kind of depends on what you're working on. And what we're trying to work on as cyclists and runners is stability and strength in your upper body. So you might actually keep a fairly wide stance, because the wider you are, you will work more of your chest and pectoral muscles. So we're simply keeping a straight body and doing a push-up. If you need to use your knees, still keep a straight body from your knees to your shoulders. Inhale and push up. If you are on your knees or upright, try to bring your nose all the way down without using your belly or anything else, because that is going to get you the full extension. My favorite and probably most effective core exercise is called a hollow. And it's named for that because the hollow of your back, you are trying to push it into the mat or the floor so that it creates an impression on the mat. You're trying to make a plaster cast of it. So start with your head down, hands up, knees and feet up. Then as soon as you bring your feet and your hands up like this, the hollow gets a little bit more concave, whatever the word is. So I want you to watch what I'm going to do. This is the spot. I'm going to push my lower back down. My knees come up, my butt comes up off the mat, and my head comes up, so that the only thing that's on the mat is the small of my back, the hollow of my back. And I'm going to hold that. And I'm going to press my belly and my lower back, like I am actively trying to press my lower spine into the mat as hard as I can. And what that does is it creates a brace for my belly, for my side, for the whole core to strengthen it. All right, I'm going to take a break because those are way harder than they look. Here are some options for you. The more that you extend your hands and your feet, the more pronounced your hollow gets, and the harder it is to roll your hips up and push your lower back into the mat and push. Otherwise, that's the whole point. So what you can do is inhale and relax it a little bit. And then as you exhale, push down into the mat. Okay, here's another alternative just as a way of doing more reps and being a little more comfortable with it. So you're going to start and do kind of a dead bug. So you're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to take your opposite hand and foot and extend, but then you're also pushing down on your lower back. And then inhale and exhale and push down. And yes, it is this hard, because I'm really trying to push as hard as I can, and my belly is just firing right now. And that's a hollow. Aye. Skater lunge. Start standing straight up and down. Take a small step back and to the side and come down into a lunge. I'm going to come forward again. So I am bending my knee, but primarily it stays where it is and my butt goes back. And then come up and switch. I'm going to do this forward and backwards so you see what's happening. All right, so again, small step back. You don't need to take a big step, small. Sit back with your butt and you're almost rotating, so you should be feeling this in the outside of your hip. And then you're going to come back up, go to the other side. Try to come as low as you can, and you are just going slow. To add a little difficulty to this, you can come down really slowly and come up quickly, a little explosively. Keep your hip out and do a little twist with your arms. And as you exhale, you're coming up. Another way of adding a little bit of weight is to hold a kettlebell or a dumbbell in a goblet squat position. Do the same thing with a little rotation. Now I have to think about balance a little bit more.